Interfaith Dogfight. 800 comments in 3 days. Muslims and Christians fighting like a dogfight. You're wrong, no, you're wrong. You're an idiot, you're a fool. A lot of name calling. Some didn't participate in name calling, some did. When you name call, you label somebody. I remember calling somebody a name, a horrible name. And then about a year later, I ran into them. They sent me a card and some flowers. And all of a sudden it made me a fool because I had labeled them something bad and they did something nice. If you label somebody bad, then it makes you look bad when they do something smart or nice. And when you come into these arguments, do you bring your ears with you? Are you prepared to teach? Are you prepared to learn? Are you prepared to listen? Are you prepared to hear? Or are you prepared to win and only win and tout a victory? I've got Christian friends on one side, Muslim friends on another, and they seem very similar. Matter of fact, the Christians and the Muslims that are fighting each other are more like each other than anybody else that I've met, because they're both unbending, angry, forwardly aggressive, and cruel, and self-congratulatory. And I love you guys, but it's true. That's common ground right there for you guys. You aren't angry and you aren't unbending. That is how I witnessed your behavior. Anything else is a label on you. If I call you a troll, that's not right. I can't call you a troll. I can say you're behaving like a troll. I've been saying, if you believe in God, it's God's job to make the judgments and not you. But then I have to get over to your side. I want to climb over to your side and say, you know what? If I was a devout Muslim or devout Christian, and I saw that something was wrong, people do need to speak up when they see things are wrong. Otherwise, our silence is tacit acceptance for things. So when we're silent, we give the same impression as if we are in agreement. And silence can be quite deadly. So where do you draw the line between speaking your truth as opposed to somehow trying to impose your interpretation of God's rules on others? Where do you draw the line? That when you're dealing with an angry Muslim or an angry Christian, you're not dealing with an angry Muslim or an angry Christian. You're dealing with an angry person and an angry human. If you really do believe that there is a God and God has rules, and no one's doing anything about it, I could see where you would feel an obligation to speak up. And I have to respect that. But where do we draw the line in speaking up in what we think is right that God wants and imposing our will and trying to be a hegemon or a police officer for God, an unenlisted police officer for God? When do we become God's police? If I see my children watching an inappropriate television show, I know it's not right for them to watch it. So I make the decision because I know it's wrong for them to be in front of that, so I take them away. So in a way, I make the judgment.